this video, we will discuss the Collision Regulation Rule 1 to 19, Convention of the International Regulation for Preventing Collision since 1972.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Group 2 for Rule 1 application. Rule 1 states that the rules apply to all vessels on the high seas and all waters connected to the high seas and navigable by seagoing vessels. Meaning, all ships, big or small, are to follow the rules as given in colregs, like yate, fishing vessels, and others as long as they sail on the sea. High seas, meaning open seas, coastal waters are far away from the land. Next is rule number 2, responsibility. Covers the responsibility of the master, owner, and crew to comply with the rules. Ibig sabihin, kahit wala dyan yung may-ari ng barko, siya pa rin ang mananagot kasama ang kapitan at kasama ang iba pang member ng barko. In Rule 2, requires that not only we need to comply with the colregs. In doing so, we also need to take precautions that we do not land in a situation where non-compliance with colregs is the only way to avoid danger. Next is rule number 3. Rule 3, general definition. Rule 3, give the definition of the vessel types. Of vessel, land, and vessels can be used as transportation on water. This rule include different conditions of the vessel. Ang sinasabi sa Rule 3, kahit yung term na vessel restricted in her ability to maneuver, meaning a vessel which from the nature of her work is restricted to maneuver, therefore unable to keep out the way of another vessel. Katulad ng mga fishing vessels na nasa mga narrow channel, yung mga power-driven vessels, luxury vessels, or even planes. Minsan, nagkakataong nagkakasabay sila kaya kailangan lagi mag-take ng precaution at gamitin ang mga rules para ma-avoid ang mga aksidente. Thank you.
Rule 5, Lookout. Every vessel shall all times maintain a proper lookout by sight and hearing as well as by all available means appropriate in the prevailing circumstances and conditions so as to make a full appraisal of the situation and of the risk collision. The purpose of the lookout is simple. So simple that it can easily be overlooked as the purpose of the navigation rules is to prevent collision. It follows that the purpose of the lookout is to collect the information needed to avoid collisions. These fundamental reasons for maintaining a proper lookout is something to keep in mind. Next rule is rule number 6, safe speed. Every vessel shall at all times proceed at a safe speed so that she can take a proper, effective action to avoid collision and be stopped within a distance appropriate to the prevailing circumstances and conditions. Even vessel to which the rules assign a right of way must proceed at a safe speed, which sometimes involve planning for the unexpected, because Rule 2 sometimes makes a departure from the rules mandatory, and Rule 17b requires action by the stand-on vessel when the risk of collision becomes extreme. A fast-moving stand-on vessel may find the action is expected under the rules not to be proper and effective. Action needed to be avoid a collision. Rule 17 requires a stand-on vessel and maintain to its course and speed after risk of collision has been established. A too high initial speed will therefore place the stand-on vessel in a dangerously awkward position.
Rule number 8, action to avoid collision. This rule discusses what a sailor should do to avoid any kind of collision while we are on the boat. It says that the actions before we take must first be think properly. This rule gives more attention to the speed of a ship. We need to give us a wide as a margin as possible so we can decide a good plan. Rule number 9. Narrow channel. This rule is about suitable horns when you are on narrow channel or passage. Every move you make in a narrow way or channel have an appropriate horns so that other ships can immediately determine what you want to indicate or do. Rule number 10. Traffic separation scheme. Tinatalakay sa rule na ito ang mga batas trapikong pandagat o ang traffic separation scheme. Ang bawat barkong dumadaan sa isang dalampasigan ay may mga naaayong daan at nararapat na sumunod tayo sa daloy para makaiwas sa anumang kolisyon. Ang mga malalaking barko na dumadaan sa isang traffic separation scheme ang prioridad sa mga daanan kahit ang mga maliliit na balsa o ang mga ngisda ang nararapat na magbigay daan sa malaking barko nang sa ganon ay mapabilis ang traksyon nito. Rule number 11. Application. This rule is under by Part B steering and saving. Section 2 from dock of our vessel inside of one another. Rules in this section apply to vessels inside of one another.
Rule 12. Sailing vessel. Rule 12 states action to be taken when the two sailing vessels are approaching one another. So, if sailing vessel with the wind on the port side sees a sailing vessel to windward and cannot determine with the certainty whether the other sailing vessel has wind on the port or starboard side, it shall keep out of way. Wind on the same side, both sailing vessels have the wind. On the same side, the vessel which has closest to the windward shall keep out of way of the vessel which is to leeward. So, B keep clear of A. 13. Overtaking. The Rule 13 overtaking, the vessel should keep out of way of the vessel being overtaken. So these rules override all the other vessel rules. The overtaken vessel, even if sailing, must keep out of way of the vessel being overtaken. You can pass on the either side or the vessel, but keep well clear. The other vessel may not have seen you. If you are being overtaken, hold your course and speed until your other vessel is past and well clear. Rule 14. Head-on situation. Rule 14. When the two power-driven vessels are meeting on the reciprocal or nearly reciprocal courses so as to involve collision, each shall alter her course to starboard so that each shall pass on port side of the another. So both vessels must be alter course to starboard. If other vessel turn away, you should turn even more starboard to slow down or stop your vessel. Rule 15. Crossing situation. Rule 15. When the two power-driven vessels are crossing so as to involve risk of collision, the vessel which has one of another her own starboard side shall keep out of way and shall, if the circumstances or case admit to avoid crossing ahead of the other vessel. If the other vessel is on your port side, you have right of way and should hold your course and speed. However, you think the other vessel leaving it are too late, you have to take action yourself and write rules. Right applies. You alter a course. Alter to starboard, or you can slow down or do that both. Rule 16. Action by giveaway vessel. Rule 16. Action by giveaway vessel is which direct to keep out of the way another vessel shall so far as possible take early and substantial action to keep well clear. So take early the substantial action to to stay out of way on vessel. Rule 17, action by stand on vessel. Rule 17, as soon it becomes apparent that the giveaway vessel is nothing appropriate action then you make your own action to avoid collision. So rule 17, maintain course and speed. Sounds 5 shot and rapid blast. Take action if the giveaway vessel is not taking substantial action to avoid collision. So if risk of collision exists and circumstances allow, avoid altering course, and if is implemented, any action will avoid collision or mitigate its primality.
Rule number 18. Responsibilities between the vessel. Rule 18 deals with the responsibilities between vessels and includes requirements for vessel which shall keep out of the way of others. The meaning of this, the deep drafted vessel should not take undue advantage of her condition and impose on other vessel to give way to her. She should navigate with full alertness and with regard to her draft. She should be within the safe speed and be able to be stopped or slowed down to avoid risky situation. Rule number 19. Conduct of vessel in restricted visibility. Rule 19 states every vessel should proceed at safe speed adapted to prevailing circumstance and restricted visibility. A vessel detecting radar by another radar vessel should determine if there is risk of collision and if so take avoiding action. A vessel hearing fog signal of another vessel should reduce speed to a minimum. These rules applies to vessels not in sight of one another when navigating in or near an area of restricted visibility. Every vessel should proceed at safe speed adapted to prevailing circumstances and condition of restricted visibility.